Good afternoon, this is John Loschke, Vice President of Products for Billing Revolution. I wanted to spend a little bit of time with you this afternoon walking through the process of creating a UPC or product within our web console, or what we often refer to as the Merchant Account Tool. While the process of setting up a new product or UPC is relatively straightforward, I do recommend that each merchant spend a little bit of time walking through the UPC creation guide, which is available either in the Merchant Account Tool landing page or through your Billing Revolution account manager. So the first thing we're going to want to do is actually to log in to the console itself. Upon logging in, you want to select the Products tab. And at this point, you actually have two options. You can either create a new product by simply selecting this link, or you can edit an existing product. At this point, you'll be presented with basically four tabs: a Generals tab, Product Details tab, an Appearance and Forms tab, and a Notifications tab. So we'll get started on the general elements of a product or UPC. Each product does contain a product name, both a consumer-facing name as well as an internal product name. The internal product name is just an opportunity for a merchant to assign a tracking code or identifier for a particular product. Each product will also contain a product description for both the mobile checkout experience as well as the PC checkout experience. The important point to note here is just to ensure that you select the Display tab. Now, if you wish to utilize the mobile description for your PC checkout experience, you can do so simply by selecting Same as Mobile. Now, upon settlement of the credit card transaction itself, a consumer will be presented with a purchase confirmation page. If there's a message that you'd like to convey at this point, this message may be provided at this point during the UPC setup. Merchants may also provide customer support information. This includes email, phone number, and website information. For the purposes of this product, I've simply provided a phone number. This information will be presented to a consumer on the purchase confirmation page, as well as in the email and mobile receipt. At this point, we've provided all of the general information for a product, and we can go ahead and proceed on to the next step. At this point, a merchant has an opportunity to establish the price points, currencies, and frequency of the billable events under the Product Details tab. The first step a merchant will want to take is to identify the preferred currency. In this particular case, we've already identified US currency. We've entered in the amount, and we've selected the Add tab. Now, if I wanted to add an additional currency, I could do so simply by highlighting that currency, entering in the amount, selecting Add again, and at this point, I'll want to select a default currency. In this particular case, we'll go ahead and set US dollars as the default. Now, upon setting the currency and the price point, merchants will also want to define the frequency of the billable event. We support both one-time and recurring transactions in a variety of intervals. In this particular case, I've simply selected month and identified 1. What this results in is a recurring charge occurring once a month. Now, should a merchant wish to perform an authorization only and delay the capture of funds for some defined period of time, this can be accomplished by simply selecting the checkbox and defining the period of deferment. This is done right here by simply selecting the Enable tab and entering in the deferment period. For the purposes of this sample product, we'll go ahead and disable that. Now, for those merchants that are looking to distribute or sell digital goods or digital assets, they can also provide the location of the digital download or binary at this point. Billing Revolution has also recently added the ability for consumers to define their own transaction amount. This feature is well suited for donations and contributions. Simply select a checkbox, provide a label, caption, or header, and a min-max value, and you're good to go. Again, for the purposes of this sample product, we'll go ahead and disable that. At this point, we'll go ahead and proceed to the next step by simply selecting the Next tab. Under the Appearance and Forms tab, merchants can provide the greatest degree of customization of their checkout experience, both for the mobile and PC experience. This includes adjusting and modifying the background color, the text color. Here we've actually used plain English, but merchants could in fact use hex color codes. They can define the field selection, whether that includes the shipping address, country, email, CVV or security code, zip code, and whether or not to use the zip code for the purposes of address verification services. Now, an important point to note on this page is the Display Remember Me checkbox. Should you wish to single-click enable your consumers, you will definitely want to ensure that this checkbox is selected. Merchants can also provide images, logos, etc. for their checkout pages. These can be defined here for both the mobile checkout experience as well as the PC checkout experience simply by inputting a URL. Now, should you wish to use the PC image URL for the image on your email receipt, simply select this checkbox. Additional elements available for customization include the button caption. This basically is defining the action button to submit a transaction. This is noted here. Those merchants distributing mobile content can provide a link description that is also presented on the confirmation page and in the mobile receipt. This is defined in this field here. The customer list label is a soft geographical restriction. An example of this might include US customers only or Portland area customers only. Now, Billing Revolution provides default terms and conditions for every mobile and PC checkout page. Should a merchant wish to use their own, they can define that URL location at this point. Last but not least is the bypass redirect link. In the event a merchant wishes to bypass the Billing Revolution thank you page, an alternative thank you page URL can be defined and provisioned at this point. So with that, let's go ahead and proceed on to the next step, which is establishing and setting up the notifications. There are really two forms of notification that occur with every credit card transaction. The first is consumer-based, and the second is merchant-based. Consumers can be notified in a number of methods. The first is by text message, and the second is by email. Both of these include references to the transaction receipt. Merchants also have the ability to slightly modify the contents of the text message that is delivered to the consumer, which contains an embedded link directing users to the mobile receipt itself. There are also several forms of merchant notification. In this particular case, we can set those notifications by simply selecting the Event Post Notification link. At this point, merchants really have two options for post-settlement notification. The first, and perhaps the most simple, is a form of email notification. In this particular case, I've simply selected the checkbox here. I've entered in an email address, and I've added that email address for the recipient. At this point, I'm going to highlight the available fields that I'd like to receive upon settlement, and I've copied those into the design field here. Additionally, we allow merchants to set up a very basic web service post. And again, I've simply selected the checkbox here. I've entered in an endpoint. I've added that endpoint. And then I've gone down here. I've identified the available fields that I'd like to be included in the post notification, and I've dropped those into the body of a very basic XML object. At this point, I've gone ahead and submitted that, and before proceeding, I'm going to go ahead and select the Return to Edit Product link. And we'll go ahead and select Save. Upon saving, you will actually be returned to the general product listing. In this particular case, this is a reference to the widget product that we've created. You want to actually select this product, and you'll notice at the top there is actually a purchase page URL highlighted here. And in fact, this is the landing page URL that you will use in all redirects for the purposes of facilitating a mobile credit card checkout experience. As you can see, this is a very simple process with very little time. You can be up and processing mobile credit card payments. Thank you again for your time today, and should you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to your Billing Revolution account manager. Thank you again.